Dum, dum, dum. What's up, everybody? I'm MrGlasco, and this is MrGlasco TV. It is Monday, April 15th, 2019, and we're going to play some more Sekiro Shadows Die Twice because this game is holding me hostage. I'd like to take a break. A part of me wants to take a break, like I said in a social media post, but I know I'm probably I'll never be as good as I am at this moment. So if I take a break and come back, I'm going to be fumbling over the controls, trying to acclimate myself and get the muscle memory back. And I have it now, so why lose it and be frustrated later? So we're just going to keep grinding. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Me and the family went to DC to look at what was left of the cherry blossoms. Got to see a parade though, so that was nice. So in our last stream, we fought Owl, aka our father. And I feel like I still feel like the fight with the Ashina guy was harder. It was a tough fight. Maybe what I learned from the Ashina fight made it maybe the same. Maybe I don't know. It wasn't a give me. It wasn't a give me fight, but it was it's a tough fight. And I did a little grinding. I got some moves. It's best to look at it from here because you can see the tree. I've had this. I got all the way up to this one, which lets you use your gadget, and then whatever your gadget is, lets your next slash be that. So, like for instance, in this image, it's fire. So if I use the fire thing, then the next slash would be a flame sword, basically. Now you have this one, which is a Ashina cross. So I did a lot of grinding for this. And I even have this. This is my next one that I'm trying to, I guess, work towards, but I'm at the point where the diminished return for even my grinding and farming, rather, is I need a better farming location. But yeah, I have these two. So just to show you what these look like. This is the Ashina cross. Oh no, that's not it. What's cool is you can basically walk around with your sword sheathed, and you could dodge out of it, so you don't have to commit to it, which is nice. That motion to put it back in the sheath is not a good window. So you need to like stun, sheath, and it's basically a double hit. I feel like that's the benefit of it. If you can figure out how to get, like I have the ability so I can start it in the air. So if I'm in the air, sheath, double hit. As opposed to 2 slashes, or with whirlwind, it's technically 2 slashes, but it's really slow compared. And then we get this one, Spiral Cloud. I feel like this is a boss fight. Move. And I can actually spam it, so it's like basically the thing is, it uses 1 emblem per burst. Same thing I want to say for this. This uses 2 for the Ashina cross. So I don't like that. I don't like that it's slow. I don't like that it costs a lot. I still prefer this, even though I don't like it costs 2. And just for a reference, if you need, this is the farming route. Which is it? Is it outskirts? No. I have a special farming route. Before I did it at the gun fort for about 1,000 or 1,400 skill points each loop. This route does about 4,000 skill points. I'll show you the start of it. This is part of it, but this is the end of it. So this guy gives you 686 skill points. I usually can land that. But this is only after the event happens where there's these extra baddies around. So this is where it starts. You rest here. Rest here. Go up here. There's a guy waiting to ambush a dude over here. Kill him. 600. This guy gives you like 30, so I don't even bother. Jump over here. Jump over here. There's another dude getting ready to ambush down here. Oh, mess it up. Stop! Once again, they're not worth it, so I'm out of here. Another 600. Come up here. These guys are running away from these guys in red. And there's a route that you can take up the side here. Let's jump on top of this guy. Another 600. Now there's 3 guys in this building here. And you just wait for them to come out. It's one of them. These guys, these 2 other guys kind of come out. He engages the guy who ran out our way. These guys, sometimes they're staggered well, sometimes they're not. For safety, you could do possession. It doesn't look like I'll need it here. So the guy will come running down here. He'll engage. So the thing about possession is that, see, I have to block my own guys. I have to block my own guy's stuff, and even after a finisher, he still comes and does like, he thinks he's still alive, so he does that. So that's 600 plus again, times 3. And then you have this guy here to close it out. And that's my route. Oh. That's my farming route for this part of the game. That's how I got all this crap. Oops. That's how I got all this. I guess the next thing I can get, unless I'm trying to go straight for this one, I guess I could do posture recovery, but it doesn't really apply for boss fights. I guess I could do also sculptures, but also this one, vitality recovery maybe, but this is 5. I don't know. I feel like go for the flashy ones because the other stuff is just kind of just buffs. So why not just go for the actual moves that could be useful? That's my strategy. So we're gonna go up here. I don't know if there's a cutscene right after I beat Father. That's where I ended it last time. So. So we're gonna see if the boy, what's up the boy. He's down here. Why is he?
I'm glad you've come, Master Wolf.
Do I have a seed? I don't think I do. No.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Wolf.
I am relieved to see that you are safe.
And Al?
I killed him.
I am sorry.
Lord Kuro.
I am sorry.
I did what had to be done.
Wolf, thank you.
My father, this was in his possession.
This branch. It's from the Everblossom tree? I see. So Al had it.
Everblossom.
Lady Emma spoke of it once. The Everblossom is a sakura tree that was brought over from the Divine Realm by Lord Takeru. It once bloomed behind this castle. However, when a branch was cut off and the flowers taken, the Everblossom eventually dried and withered away.
So this is that branch?
Yes, I believe so.
We are a step closer to the Fountainhead incense.
Yes. Yes, that's right, Wolf.
Yes, yes. I thought we had everything. And I actually found out that these are the key items. For some reason I thought this first tab is everything you have, and then these are just consumables, prosthetic. I thought for some reason that these were broken down versions of what this one was, but that doesn't make any sense. So yeah, you can actually look at your key items. I also got, which one was it? It was one of these. I think it was this one. This one, it cost 7 scales. 7 fish scales to get this mask. I'm not sure if it goes to part of this mask, because this says mass fragment, this says mass fragment. I'm guessing there's another mass fragment somewhere, and then I put on a mask, and I'm like, Oni? Sekiro or something? And this is where you can read all the little stuff. What am I doing? Where am I going?
Wolf, that sword on your back, is it?
It is the mortal blade.
The sword that can kill those who cannot die.
Yes, it was given to me by the divine child of the rejuvenating waters at Sempo Temple.
The divine child of the rejuvenating waters?
The monks at Sempo Temple abandoned the ways of their faith in pursuit of immortality. The result is those who have false dragon's heritage, known as the divine children of the rejuvenating waters.
A false dragon's heritage. I never would have thought. Wait, divine children?
Yes, many were created, but only one survived.
Further proof of the corruption this power brings to man. With the mortal blade in hand, I can now be made to bleed. We are one step closer to creating the Fountainhead incense. The ties of immortality must be severed.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, my lord. What do I need now? I feel like I have everything. It's just making me talk.
Wolf, we've finally done it.
Yeah.
Once we make the Fountainhead incense, you can infuse your clothes with the aroma. Now, place all of the ingredients in the incense burner.
As you wish.
Beep boop beep.
My lord.
Wolf,
My
the
lord.
mortal blade. Fear not. I will only make a shallow cut. Would you draw the mortal blade from its sheath?
Yes, my lord.
Forgive me, but close your eyes.
Yes, my lord.
Ugh.
It's over now, Wolf.
How is the wound?
I'm fine. I just made a small cut on my chest.
Why?
So this is the Fountainhead incense.
Why not your
It's
finger?
so extraordinarily nostalgic.
I see.
Well, do you notice anything different?
The aroma and Fountainhead Palace. Those words have been burned into my mind.
Fountainhead Palace. It's just as Lord Takeru wrote. That place must lead to the Divine Realm. But how can the Fountainhead Palace be reached?
A sweetly scented bridal offering. That was written on the altar where the fragrant stone was placed.
Yes. You now carry the aroma of the Fountainhead incense. I believe the path leading to the Fountainhead Palace will open before you if you go to the shrine within the cave. Immortality shall soon be severed. I'm counting on you, Wolf.
As you wish.
Oh, it's about to get real. Wow. Uh. Where am I going? Simple Temple, Sunken Valley. Oh wait, should we kill the? We should probably actually go kill the headless ape, because he probably has a prayer bead, and I only need one more for one more vitality boost. So we should probably do that. Where was that? Hold on. Depths. Here. Now the question is it going to be alive right behind me? Because this is like right in his den. Oh, it's still alive. Or it's still laying down. Oops. Die! Schling. So kind of you to be laying there. Uh-oh, what's this? Ninjutsu technique that wreath a blade in the victim's blood. Extending its reach, cause spirit emblem to use, activated after a backstab death blow. So, after backstab death blow, my sword is like a uber sword at the cost of a emblem. How many emblems we talking? Because mind control is 5, mist is 6. This one's 7. I feel like I actually need mind control for something. I think somebody said something about the snake. So we didn't get a prayer bead. I mean, having a brand new move sounds cool and seems cool and all that, but look at the prayer bead. Let's see, let's try here. Somebody. Where is this? Where am I? What is this? Is this the right place? This is not. This one? All right. I have so many. I have so much money. I have 35. I have 35,285. So like everywhere I've gone
Care to purchase?
for offerings, I've just been purchasing all the purses to kind of stockpile them. I guess I should do these two, just so that when it comes to upgrading time, I could just have it.
Where you find the departed, wherever.
Oh, are you coughing? Are you dying? Okay, last time I just ran in. Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo-hoo. Ah! Is that a? Is that a? I feel like that's a fall to death. Oh God! Chill, dudes. Um. Okay. What can I do here? What if I can use the umbrella? Probably not. Hey. I hear the monkey. I don't know where I'm supposed to like. Where's the monkey? I have to go back. Ow! Hey! Hmm. Oh God! I try to block his attack, maybe? Or, can I feather? I just thought about that. I could have did that before. Uh, we're in here. What's over here? What's that? I feel like dead bodies are gonna start coming out the walls again. Hey, what's that up there? That was an accident. Probably a way out. Hey, divine confetti. Alright. Pick up item. Dried serpent viscera. Dried persimmon-like heart of a great serpent. Great serpent is the god of the land. The heart is believed to be where one's spiritual spirit resides. While it looks much like a persimmon? Am I saying that right? In fact, this is a red viscera of a god. Apparently, denizens of the sunken valley worship the organs, believing they represent the deity itself. Can I stab it and kill the snake outside? Kind of rule set so it oh! Block me in here. As if there was something else out here for me to explore. Probably not. Judging by the way the walls are bowed in now, I feel like it's supposed to be like that, right? Unless the fight's about to happen. In which case, let me get my feather. Let me get my feather ready. Ah, this is where I was trying to get to that one time. So this is how you get up here. Was I supposed to fight that snake? No, probably not, right? Once again, just especially because of the way it blocked the door. Seems like a very specific way for it to block a door, so it's probably not dead in that case. So I'll probably have to fight it later. Okay. Don't know what to do with this. I've tried fighting the headless monsters. I can't. I just can't. I feel like I'm still missing something, or I don't know how to do it right. So let's just go to Wedding Cave door. Let's just go here and do the thing. Rest. I have the aroma on me. I might just gotta straight up walk into the next world. Be too careful here. Pray. God, I have to fight the snake. Ow. What is this? To Burning Man. I'm in there. Ow, my body. So it might look nice and comfy like bristles from afar, but up close they're probably like full arms thick sticks. Oh, I guess it looks soft too. Looks like hay. Interesting. Can I see this because I have the smell now or something? Is the thing just always wandering? Thanks. Thanks for the ride. The question is, how did that one guy get his idol here? That's the question I want to know. Who brought it here for him? I am here to sever the lure. Corrupted monk with 3 stocks. Ow. Ow. Ow, my entire body. I don't know why I wasn't fighting. I was trying to remember its moves. It's reminding me. Oh wait, what do I want to... Probably firecrackers. Right. Ow! Okay, at least it didn't do damage. Wait, what? Do I want this one? I guess I could try it out. It is a high level. It took not. This actually cost 9 skill points. Ow, I blocked that. Ah! Ow. Why am I not parrying that? Ah, the follow-up. Forgot about the follow-up. How about that? Why? Ah, the freaking follow. Okay. I have to learn the pacing in this boss. I feel like I got it. I want to actually save my special move though, because it looks like I can spam it. And I just need to stop it so I can block, because they're not really stun locked by it. Excuse me? Ah, I didn't mean to do that. this. Ow. Ow. Should be it. Yep. Hammer that face. Yeah. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. What's this? What? Excuse me? How long does this last? I wonder if I can firecracker that. Probably not. Ah, dang it. I probably... I should probably... Hold on. Yeah, use feather on that. I parried. Oh god. Just run. Feather! I'm using feather! Ah! 2 stocks down. Is this where we spam? Dang it. Oh no. It's not getting staggered. Or posture damage. Woohoo. Hold on. Do I need to use the Mortal Draw? I don't like this one because it's slow! Oh, God! Like I said, it's a double swipe, but it's a slow one. Or do I use the spear, maybe? God dang it. I meant to use a hook, not to use it. My brain wasn't with it. Because the hook can dig the centipede out of... I lost 8,000 monies for that. I used to be up to 30-some thousand. What am I trying to say? The ape, the headless ape, you could pull the centipede out with the spear. If you tap it, from my understanding. So you can tap it. After you poke, you tap it till you yank it out. I don't know if that's if that applies here. Let's see. Don't think mortal draw is really necessary. The cloud's pretty good. It uses up emblems though if I'm trying to use a spear. Firecrackers maybe? Firecrackers are probably safer if I'm trying to because it might be considered an animal. It might take extra posture damage, so we'll see. All right. Let's have a clean first and second phase here. Dang it. Why am I not parrying that? Please. Could have been cleaner. Maybe this is where I hook shot around. Okay. Ah! Oh, I remembered to block the follow-up, but he had another one waiting for me. I don't just want to reset now. What? Ow. Ah, jump! No. Ooh. One gourd. Okay, what were we using? Firecracker. And maybe spam the thing. Okay. Oh! Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Help. I need emblems. Oh, I don't know how that's not hitting me, but thank you. Yes! The Mortal Blade! We did it. By the skin of our teeth. A tally board carved from a large piece of jade possesses increases stock that can be purchased in merchant shops. Such a tally board is highly prized by merchant class. Old custom dedicated to the dragon ranked are recognized as supreme merchants by the Imperial Palace. Best treatment, something. I don't know. Duh. Thanks, Elon. Thanks for the stars there. Yeah, we did it. Oh, there we go. I was wondering if that worked. Now I can probably turn off the other one. The chimey one. Hold on. Oops, sorry. Wait. Dude. Elon says, hey everyone. This is ominous. Is this just a boss rush, maybe? It's like boss after boss. Because why have a save point right before and right after? Something tells me I'm about to fight something huge. Something that can level an entire building, apparently. Judging by what I see here. Should probably have not collected those. Just in case I needed to collect them. Uh-oh. It's a snake man. See if we can backstab him. Your soul is mine. Oh God, there's another one. I feel like all these guys are actually pretty weak. Did he die to one hit? There has to be a reason why I'm doing this. Am I not supposed to kill these guys? I mean, I could target them, so I feel like by default, that means they're bad. I'm getting battle arena vibes so hard. Any assassins up here? Did you not see that? Okay. You got archers on the roof. Oh God. Ow. Get rigged erect. Just a little bit. A little bit wrecked. See, I'm kind of tempted to just make forward progress and get to this temple here at the end. But what if, like I said, there's a big boss fight, and if I don't kill these guys, then they're going to basically pepper me from the outskirts. Uh-oh. 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 So that guy's super weak. I wonder if he does whatever he's doing with his flute to you, if it's just like a one-shot. It has to be. So it'd also be nice if I can find a prayer bead so I can get a little bit more vitality. See Archer McGee up there. Anybody watching your back, Archer? Oh, yep. How do I get these guys? Where are those? Blood, death. What you guys eating on? What are you even? Eel liver. Gross. Yeah, I'm not sure if I even have to do this. Oh, I can't climb on the roof. Stop. Oh! I was right! He sucked all my life down to his liver. I was like, there's something about this guy. Something about this guy I shouldn't underestimate. There he is. There it is. So I wonder how far his range is on that. At least I get it back. Imagine if I had to go get it from him. It looked like I could, but those dogs were there, so. Die, vampire leech thing. Die, vampire leech, spawn of Satan. This guy's a very poorly positioned. Who's that? Uh-oh. My specialty is sword fighting. You take extra damage. Take extra posture damage from me, bud. Better watch out. Gotta watch out for the guy here with the flute. He almost got me last time. Do it. Uh-oh. Trying to see if I can cut him through the wall. Okay, okay, okay. God dang it. Probably don't need any of these items here. Actually, you know what? I probably do actually. But only for like upgrades later. Because certain areas kind of specialize. Wrong one, sorry. Yeah, go investigate that, bud. Yeah, shisha. That's probably where you actually farm these material. I believe there are archers above me, so...
Sorry for
Oh,
interrupting. This is a reminder for you to take a break and drink some water.
oh thanks. Thanks, Alexa. Alexa. That's my kids pronounce it. Never mind. Alexa. And the messed up thing is sometimes she understands it. So I feel like they're training her to understand it incorrectly. So she's actually being not as responsive to her proper name. What you gonna do? You gonna investigate the noise? Hello. What's up, Shane? Welcome back. How's it going? I don't hear any flute, so I'm not sure what's under me. It's going. Word. I'm in a new area here. The bull here. No. Guess that makes sense for it to be that much area. It made sense that it would be some kind of animal. Just wasn't sure what. But a bull, you say? What if I stand in this? Oh. God, go ahead. Gotta get rid of these snake guys. They're dangerous. Uh-oh. Who's that? You friendly? It's not locking on.
Excuse me, young man.
Yes? Are you lost?
Young man, please be careful. The palace nobles have a craving for the vitality of youth. They
Ah.
can't help themselves. They want nothing but to sap away more and more of it.
I see.
The courtyard ahead in particular. It is accursed. It's
Accursed.
crawling with palace nobles. If you must forge ahead, you'd best go around it.
Well, first of all, will tell me how to live my life. Second of all, you're probably right. See if there's any excuse me, doors. Places to hook shot on the roof. I feel like it's purposefully not. Unless this turned into a stealth game. Is that what this is? A stealth section? I feel like that's what this is. It's like, alright, guy, you've had enough fun with your shinobi shenanigans. Who's that over there? Is that a mini boss? So I feel like I make a mad dash for this guy on the bridge. Probably not the best mad dash. I saw a guy sitting. I hear something with a very... Okay, there's one of the guys in there. I hear very, like, deep, labored breathing. Like that of a beast. It's behind the guy. Oh, I see it. So the question is, the real question is, where's its trigger? Oh god, no, 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 don't do it. Just trying to suck my vitalities. Get your flute off my vitalities. Well, if I don't trigger it here... Okay, if we're going up against that, we're doing firecrackers. It probably has 3 stocks, doesn't it? It won't bother me. It's just a preview. It's like soon to be joining your adventures. This thing. Oh, this is the way I should have went. Okay. What's up there? It's convenient, unless I randomly fall through the floorboards. If only had a map. Okay, wait. Do I mind control or mist? Because mist can put me back into stealth, and I can go back into hiding and go back up into the roof. Mind control would have somebody fight with me. I feel like mist. Because then that guy would just like, you're the man. You don't have to be. Where'd those guys go? They're like rolling in a group. Right below me. Here's the game plan. What's up, Tiny? Thanks for the host on the Twitch. Okay, ready? Oh, I forgot. I didn't do it. I got no. Okay. It's botched, but we fixed it. You're about here-ish in your game. Nice. I had to get that guy before he sucked my vitality. Giggity. I'm hoping for a prayer bead. What's up, Tiny? Who's seeing me? Probably not much. How's Sekiro? I'm actually doing pretty good with this game. Something's like peeping me. I feel very uncomfortable. I'm doing pretty good. I did a lot of farming on the side, like on my off time, just to get some skill points, so then I could get some fancy moves. Cool to shout out. Thanks, Elon. Yeah, probably, I don't know. Still, notification still firing. I'll have to figure that out, troubleshoot that. Appreciate the Facebook stuff. Oh, God. Hello. What's all this then? Ooh. Scale. Ooh, another scale. Ooh, another scale. Water of the palace. A cup filled with divine waters, drink popular with the nobles of the palace. When a wedding procession arrives at the Fountainhead Palace, this is the drink they agreed with. The nectar of the palace nobles. Go ahead and drink the contents. Should I drink it? When did my character have the ability to swim? What's up, Jason? When could I swim? I want to say after the. I could be wrong, but I want to say after the monk, the first. The first corrupted monk or whatever. Who's that? Who's that in the purple? Anna, Anna. You gonna come after me? That's the real question. Are you gonna come all the way over here? Oh God. Oh no! Back in the water. Oh no, this is in the water. We're fine. Coming after me? I need that guy to turn around. That'd be sweet. Pretty sweet if you turn around, dude. Ninja vanish. Die, motherfucker! Thing is, does he need line of sight to suck my essence? It appears he does. Oh God! No. No, no, no. Hello. Yay, a save point. All these guys feel really, dare I say, easy. I haven't been paying attention to the skill. Oh my God! I haven't been paying attention to the skill points I've been getting. Usually you could judge how difficult. Let's see how much he's giving me. Can't imagine. 530? Really? That's a pretty penny. That ain't nothing. Yeah, this is a good place to farm. Not too much risk. Just gotta worry about line of sight with those guys. So, Fishy. Are we cool? How are we? What's our relationship exactly? Oh God, where is it? So I do have infinite breath that comes with the power to swim. Oh my God, what is this? Sirs, ma'ams. What is that? Apparently, you're forbidden to swim in these sacred waters. You're forbidden to swim in these sacred waters, says the man on the rock. But the fish destroyed the bridge, sir. And how could you see me under the water unless the water is an extension of your form? Oh, here we go. I guess I have to go all the way up there. Uh-oh. Is this heaven for these guys? I'm just like guys doing hacky sack. Just hanging out. It's not, unless that's a human head, then it's, you know, maybe not him. Maybe not heaven. Oh god. Possession helps here. I might miss because possession costs. Oh, I guess 5. I mean 6 and 5. But if I do mist into cover and then just kill the guy right next to him, as opposed to the noisiness of a combat. So just wham bam. For large groups, yeah, for sure. Even though if you have too many people possessed, all that chaos, you kind of just don't even want to get involved. Can I make it to that? I think I can. Damn it. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh god, someone saves me! Who saves me? Who saves me? Oh god! Just hide here. Oh wait. Pepperoni. Dang it. Oh. Am I spotted? Why'd the music spike there? What's that? If I learned anything, purple glowing things isn't a happy color. Yeah, terror. Uh-oh. What are you? Okay, so I can get the drop on this guy, but the question is, do I want to? Is this that same kind of shaman guy? Do I just go behind him and steal what he's protecting? Because I kind of feel like I just go behind him and steal what he's protecting. Even though beating him might give me a prayer bead, unless this is... he's mean. Yeah, I haven't figured out how to kill these guys yet. Oh god. He thinks he's recognized me. Oh god, run away! Oh no! Ah! Oh god! Oh no! Ah! Oh my word! What? Can we not? Disengage! Divine confetti. Oh. No, we're good. I got the baby. And just let him hopefully chill out. Would be very sad if he still engaged with me. Should be safe up here, I'm thinking. I've angered him. I took his baby. It's not open from this side. Who's on there? Trying to get a bead on what we gotta look forward to. Is this what happens if you're not cool like these other guys with the flutes? You turn into these corrupted ones. So think over there. Let's take it easy here. Take it easy. Oh god. Why would you approach like that? It's a very hostile way to approach somebody. What's your play here? Let me think. Excuse me. If I were a ninja, how would I engage these guys? Let's see. Can I do this? Kind of throw. Sekiro. You're wasting it. Okay, got their attention. They'll come to investigate. Now we'll get the pounce. Even though these guys aren't even that hard, I haven't fought two of them at once. They might do like a one guy stands on the other guy's shoulders type thing. Stop. Yeah. 513 for him too? Man. Or her? I don't know. They sound like either female or very effeminate. So the question is, that's where I possess. Oh, there's a save spot over there. Okay, I feel like this is where either I run past them to hit the save spot, but then that means they respawn. I'm gonna go for the javelin guys. If I can make it. Your soul is mine! Can you target the right person, please? Or is this the guy? That's my guy. God dang it. Oh, wait, is it? No, he's somebody else. Ow. Ow! What are they even doing? Oh, they killed my guy. Help! Rest quickly. Oh, god dang it! Ow! So me sitting there, does that count? Aha! It does. Okay, I think I go this way. His hacky sack is a lightning ball. His hacky sack is filled with lightning. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'll take one of those. Can I jump back onto that though? Is there anything on here? I feel like I can. Let's get our prayer beads done. Water safe now. That was the guy that was guarding it. What about these guys? I kind of want to fight them. Restore my honor. Probably not worth it. What else could there possibly be in these? But I guess upgrade parts. Bulging coin purse. Where's the fish? There's somebody on that house. Fishy, fishy. Where are you? Oh god, something sees me. Piranha. They're fine. Oh no. Alright, am I chasing that? Am I actively trying to fight this thing? Because I gotta be honest. Wait, did it go on the ground? Are you in here? Fishy, no! Interesting. I guess the real question is... Always with the questions. This feather work down here. No, because that's a dive button. Do I have to sneak by? I feel like I have to hide in these houses. Ah! Wait, what happened? Did he kill himself? Oh god, it destroys the buildings! Oh wait, I see what I have to do. It's gonna destroy the buildings one by one, but it's gonna knock itself out as it does it. So the point is not to get seen, period. So let me see if I can just... not get seen here. Oh god! Ah! Building, last time you protected me. What's up with this? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! Oh god, go up! Go up! Go up! Can I not go up? Oh god, oh wait, this room here! Go in! Okay. Oh my god. Just keep going. I wish I know what that was. Okay. Okay. This is that one where the corrupted guys are. Let's rest here. Can't target these. Oh, never mind. Okay. No. Disengage, please. Please disengage. Pretty please. So that crowd attack is pretty good for weak guys, but it can be blocked. I don't know if you guys noticed that earlier. Let's open this so we can gain access to that area. What are you guys eating? You guys are eating each other! You're cannibal. Oh. They're cannibals. It's a box. What's in the box? Oh. Bean. Oh, it's a gourd seed. That brings us to 8. Any monsters in here? Oh no, beautiful. This is where... I wonder if this is where they make the divine children. That has to be what this place is, right? You take the wedding procession to the mortal realm to try to have divine children to bestow upon... You missed the seed? It's in the waterfall. I mean, I already have a gourd seed. What else could I possibly find, really? Can't think of anything else. I mean, I also have some other gourds here. I have one for poison, fire, and tear, which are nice to have. I don't think there's any other kind of gourds you can have. These cost a pretty penny. Rah-rah! Okay, I think that's just for effect. It's firing for effect, setting the stage. How can I flank these guys? Said the ninja. Uh-oh. It sounded like somebody just jumped over here. No, not the lightning kick. Okay, we're good. No, God! I guess shocked. Ow! You just kicked me in my face? Ah! Dang it! I guess I could have used my special move to spam out moves faster. Is there a way around going through this building? Pardon me! Oh, are you all dead already? What is dead may never die. So I went this way and I poked my head out too much and I got spotted. So we won't poke our head out. Up. I see a secret way up. Oh God, it wasn't secret enough! I think this is the only person engaged. And the others were none the wiser. Okay. Who's your friend? Yee. Let's see. Damn. Really? See if I can get his attention. What did you see? Was it a man? Is he gonna come over there all the way? Because that'd be pretty sweet. Oh yeah. That's what I like. Oh, I thought I was still Ninja Vanish. No! Yeah, how you like it? Watch out for me! Watch out for me! Damn it! See, that's why I don't like possess. Thanks a lot. Wait, did I just get 2,100 for those guys? Per or each? Maybe one each. Maybe it was like 1,000. That's still a lot. Now this could be a place to farm. This whole area. If you could find the route. Sorry. Chillax. Oh, lightning ones. Who's that? What's up? Oh, cutscene?
The Divine Realm.
Oh, I thought I was already in it. Okay. Oh god. Oh no, what? Wait. Let me take a sip of our special mossy gourd for poison resistance. And jump in with a little bit of this and this and this and this and this and this. Oh god, oh god. What is this? Which one do I target? Let's jump into the middle. Grapple the trees. Oh, like this? Oh what? I'll have in my cloud attacks. Oh wait, what was that? Oh. Have to kill these trees? There was a red dot when it sank back in the ground. Let's see if it pops up again. You guys are crowding my space. Oh god. They go higher and higher each time. What move was that even? I looked at the darker one. Let's see if it gives me a free one again. So I feel like these darker ones are harder. Oh god, it's not! I didn't give it to me. Ow. The trees are bad. Okay. They have weapons? They're learning at an exponential rate. So you still get a cloud attack, it's just not as potent. You don't get a full circle cloud. But I still have a... Let that guy be an example to you. Let's see if I get it this time. Yeah, pray to your tree god. Just, I guess, take these guys out one by one. Oh god, they're lunging. Focus on the white. The White Walkers. Praying for more trees. Oh, I thought I was here the whole time. Well, I'm helping. Right? They're about to thank me. I'm sure of it. You're welcome. Ma'am, sir. What? Oh god! Woohoo! Ah! Okay. Okay. Just don't go on lightning one. Don't go on lightning one! Ah! Oh no, wait. Maybe I'm supposed to get the lightning hand or sword. I thought I had a special sword. Ow. My entire being. Can I parry his attack? That's the question. How do I even attack you? Come here. No. Got to. Easiest boss in the game. I mean, he's missing me pretty legitly right here. Ah! Maybe I can parry him from here. Nope, not from that one.